You've probably played lots of sports other than golf over the years. Why did you choose golf as the sport to pursue?
It's actually a pretty tough question. I used to play pretty much every sport under the sun, and like athletics, swimming, soccer, rugby league, every sport, AFL, other than golf. I wasn't playing golf at the time, and funnily enough, I stopped every sport that I was playing and started golf.
And at what age were you then?
I was at 12, so I was in year 7, and I was 12 years old, and basically from then just fell in love with it. The only reason I can really give to say that I picked golf was my old man and my grandfather played it.
Golf's really exploded in recent years, and there are some really impressive golfers around that we see on the PGA Tour from week to week. Are there any golfers in particular that you're impressed with, that you'd like to emulate?
Dustin was number 2. When Jordan Spieth had his hot streak, Dustin was number 2. And so realistically, he's been a driving force in the game for probably 3-4 years now, and now he's taken the mantle of world number 1, and he's really he's really the modern golfer, the futuristic golfer, someone that's always in the gym. He's an athlete. He's not just he's not a guy that just hits golf balls. You can nearly put him on any field and he'd probably excel. Yeah. And
well, that probably leads me into another question I was going to say to you. Like, golfers seem to be all shapes and sizes, but still do incredibly well. I mean, fellas like Craig Parry from Australia, and you compare John Daly, the fellow Rahm, the Spanish guy Rahm. There's just so many shapes and sizes of golfers, and but it seems the ones that are winning consistently are the ones that obviously have a very strong fitness routine and obviously work out in gyms. What about yourself? Do you sort of follow that sort of routine as well?
Yeah, so my routine's very much around the gym. I feel like there's so many golfers out there in the world, millions and millions, who are in the same boat as me, want to be tour players, want to go to the next level. And I feel like everyone's out there that's working hard. It's not enough to be able to stand there and say, I work hard. Mm-hmm. You have to have other avenues where you're excelling, and I look at that and I think, well, if I can be fitter than every other person on the golf course, if I can be stronger, I'm going to be the one that can get out of the sticky situations when I'm there. And not only that, the life of a tour player it takes you out of you. It's being on the road for so long and having to be so mentally focused for so long.
You mentioned mentally focused. I mean, that performance by Jordan Spieth in the recent Open, I mean, that was mind-blowing. Like when he put that ball out almost out of bounds with 5 holes to play, everybody thought he was gone. And then in the remaining 5 holes, he's pulled out 3 birdies, I think, and an eagle to win comfortably. I mean, he must have unbelievably strong sort of mental capacity. How much of that sort of thing also, is in your mind when you approach this game?
I think Jordan's quite a funny sort of a character in the way that he is. Everyone's really comparing him to Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, being sort of Jordan and Nicklaus are the only 2 people to complete three of the majors before 24. Him and Tiger are the only guys to win, I think, 12 times before 24. Like he's really achieving numbers that only the 2 greatest players to ever live have achieved. And I think that mental capacity is immense, and it's something that I think we have to draw on in situations like that. And like his caddy Michael, apparently at that Open, didn't matter how bad it got, it was always keep your chest high, chest high and walk forward, it's the next shot now, and things like that, where if you're just treating it like you just got to play your next shot, it doesn't matter what happens last, it's now this shot because it's the most important one. You can't change the past, it's now controlling the present and the future. And I think that mental, for Jordan to turn a game that was practically disastrous,
almost gone,
and probably only hit 1 good shot for the first 13 holes and
still win,
and then turn that around and do that. It was incredible.
Now, I recently had the great pleasure of having a game with you at Brookwater, which is recognised as one of Australia's toughest golf courses. I think off the black markers where you played from, the slope is 146. And I mean, the fact that you parred the course on the day, having never even seen the course before, I thought was unbelievably impressive. But the one hole in particular that stood out was the 9th hole, and people might not know it, but it's a 340 metre par 4 uphill with a slight dogleg left. There are bunkers halfway, which catches the average golfer. Bunkers in front and bunkers on the left of the green. I remember you drove the thing to the left-hand side green, the left-hand side bunker of the green, 340 metres uphill. I mean, is that typical of a drive, or was that just a one-off fluke that day? Well, what's your average drive?
It's hard to say because it just, like, my swing speed and whatnot are always very high and consistent in the same numbers, but it just depends on the conditions of the day. Like when it comes to distance, I guess that's always been something that I am renowned for, is to hit it such a long way, and I think it is such an advantage over any other player, and again that just comes down to as we were talking before, in the fitness regimes.
Yep.
Like I don't just go to the gym to muck around and things. You go to the gym to improve and to find.
How long do you spend in gyms each week?
Spend about probably an hour and a half, 6 nights a week in the gym.
And that has made a definite improvement to your driving length, you think?
Yeah, not only my length, but accuracy as well. Although every now and again I do have issues off the tee, but that's to be expected of any player. You do have troubles in your game every now and again, but I think it's been a massive factor in being able to hold positions in my swing and maintain posture. And it's not so much. Yes, it's obviously increased my power and my distance and how far I can hit it, but having the strength there to be able to control all the power and things, it's made a big difference.
And what did you think of Brookwater that day?
It's definitely the most challenging course I've ever played.
It just pressures you all the time. There's never a shot where you can relax and go, oh, this is just an easy one to the middle of the green, or I'll just knock this one up the fairway. It's always there's always trouble. There's always somewhere where you can't be, and
well,
it keeps you on your toes.
I've had the great fortune of playing a lot of golf in Asia with various golfing groups, and I mean, the courses over there, I don't know of one course I've played in Asia, and there's plenty there, that's remotely like Brookwater. I mean, Brookwater is so tight, and as you said, you can get into trouble in almost every hole. What are your short-term goals? I know you intend to go to Asia next year and get your tour card there, but those courses I would think would suit you very much, because they're not as tight as the ones they're not even as tight as Caloundra, for example. And your length, I think, would give you a great advantage on those courses.
Well, in Asia, so obviously, as you said, my right now goal is to prepare myself to go to the tour school and gain a tour card. So for right now, my goal is to be able to go to Asia and be successful at the qualifying school, gain my card, and be a full-time player over there. For a first year in Asia, it'd be to retain my card, make sure I'm there for the long term, that I can progress further. Because there's no point, obviously, going there if you're not going to go anywhere from there. It's not where you want to end up. So it's a great tour to get me started and then to really learn the ropes of world-class tour play. And I think that's
so,
a great
Jacob,
place
what
to
are
go.
you, 20 or 21 now?
So 21 now.
Just turned 21 recently, apparently. Well, you know, you've got a huge future ahead of you, and from everybody that I've spoken to who knows you, said one of your greatest attributes is your determination and desire to do well and to keep learning. And I'm sure that's going to sort of put you in really good stead when you go to Asia. And what about after Asia, Europe or the US? Where would you like to go after that?
I've always said I wanted to play in Europe. At the end of the day, America's the way to go. You want to go to the US. It's when you're playing for prize purses of $10 million. That's the place to be.
A big attraction.
At the end of the day, you're going to pick that over playing at somewhere for $1 million. So it's that's the US is where I want to go, but I've always said I wanted to play in Europe. I've got some family in Scotland and that, and I'd like to, even if it was for a season or something, you go over there and just experience the world and play some golf.
Ability and hard work are obviously necessary, irrespective of what sport people take up. But in a technical game like golf, a lot of guidance and help is necessary. Now, who have been the people in your career so far that have helped you as far as the technical aspect of the game and just guided you where you are now?
I think people get really mixed up in ability and hard work. I think they go hand in hand. You don't get ability without the hard work, so it's not, you don't just wake up one day and you can play great golf. It comes from a combination of people that you meet, who teaches you, whether you're swinging it good or if you're training in the gym, your nutrition. It's a combination of things that really come together for you to actually have a good game of golf and play well. So I think hard work is what makes the ability, but in terms of who's helped me out, Tim Bell is well and truly the man that's really got me to be here. He's, like, I can't speak highly enough of him. He's as good a man as they get, and Danny is as well.
Yep.
I couldn't ask for a better boss to help me get through through my time.
Danny Frailing.
Yeah, Danny Frailing from the store, and like him and Gail and their family and things. They've really helped me through.
Supported you.
Really helped me through the 3 years of what it is as the traineeship, and obviously my family as well. There's been plenty of people along the way that I've met that you really draw things from.
Golfers of your standard, always amaze me. It's, you play a different. Golf's a different game to you and mortals like me, and it's so easy to sing the praises of great golfers. But what's been the best compliment anybody's ever given you as far as your golf is concerned?
Well, going back to Tim, I was fortunate enough. Tim happened to be the professional that Ian Baker Finch did his traineeship under, and for a few years anyway, and was able to tee up a game with Ian, and we went out to Pelican Waters along with Andrew, the GM there, and Tim, and fortunately enough, I played some really good golf and shot 7 under or something along those lines, and after the round, Ian said to me that I was the best young talent that he's ever played with.
Oh, there you go.
And the next Greg Norman of Australian golf to Greg Norman's parents. So that was probably the most humbling experience I've ever had. It was fantastic.
Well, Jacob, I don't think we could finish on a better note than that. Everybody that knows you holds you in very high regard, and not just as a great golfer, but also as a fine young Australian. So myself and everybody else, as I said, that has had anything to do with you, wishes you all the very best in the coming years, and we're all very confident that you'll reach the top in the sports you've chosen. Well done.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, mate.